Alright folks, you're here. Let's make this worthwhile. Those of you sports fans out there, this video is titled The Quarterback Carousel 2021. Next season in the NFL, we're going to see some shifting with some quarterbacks moving from various teams. Some have underperformed. Some just didn't have the right personnel around them to make it successful for them. Some of them just ain't fitting with the organizations, and then some have been plagued by the injury bug, and others just need a change of scenery. So let's get right down into it. Starting off with Jimmy Garoppolo. I have Jimmy Garoppolo. Best fit for him to me would be the Minnesota Vikings. I know he's suffered an injury, and I wish him well on his recovery, but I think San Francisco ain't the place to be for him. So I'm having him going to the Vikings. That makes a lot of sense for me, or to me. Matthew Stafford, he's given blood, sweat, and tears to the Detroit Lions organization. I think he deserves a shot to win and to play in a massive market. I'm having him going to the Dallas Cowboys. Dak Prescott, while we're on the subject of the Cowboys, I know he suffered an injury, but a place that he would fit in well for me would be the Detroit Lions. He had his time in Dallas. They got the contract situation going on, and a lot of people are looking at it saying, well, see, if we'd have paid him all this money and this happened. But still a believer in Dak Prescott. I just think he needs to move on, and him switching places with Matthew Stafford, I think would be great for both of those individuals. Moving on to Cam Newton and the experiment that was in New England. Everyone expected him to set the world on fire there, but he's been a bit rusty. He hasn't been playing football in the NFL for a season or two or something like that. But I have a place for him being the Atlanta Falcons. I just feel that atmosphere and that culture there in the history of that team will work out well for him. You had the greats come through there like Deion Sanders and Michael Vick, and I think he can rejuvenate his career there in Atlanta. Carson Wentz, I don't know, Philadelphia fans, what do you think? I have him going to the Chicago Bears. I believe his character, he fits that Bears organization and what the Bears stand for. I think he would be better off there with the Chicago Bears. A change of scenery for him. The disgruntled Ryan Fitzpatrick, I'm having him go to the New York Giants football team. The Giants have always had success with quarterbacks that some have considered to be washed up, or some have considered not to be elite starters in the league. But that's my pick for him. I'm having him go to the New York Giants. And the New York Jets, just get Sam Darnold out of there. I'll have him going to the Jacksonville Jaguars next season as their starting quarterback. Speaking of the Jaguars, Gardner Minshew, I have him going out to San Francisco to play in that storied 49ers organization that has championships, that are winners, and they even made it to the Super Bowl last year. But as we know, their quarterback went down, Jimmy G. But I have Gardner going out there to the 49ers, so I think that'll be a great opportunity for him. Kirk Cousins, I know people have feelings about him, but I think he'd be a great fit going into the Cleveland Browns organization. I know he only has about 2 or 3 years left in the league, but I think he could go into Cleveland and get in there and make something special happen. I mean, after all the first-round draft picks that they have that didn't pan out well at the quarterback position for them, maybe it's time to give him a shot there and see what he can do. Andy Dalton. I have Andy Dalton going to the Broncos just because I'm not a big fan of quarterbacks that play in dome stadiums or covered stadiums, going to teams that play outside, outdoors. And the environment of Cincinnati, the weather and whatnot, I think Andy Dalton, once he overcomes that injury, he still has a few good seasons left in him. And I think he can make some noise for the Denver Broncos. We all know how history goes with the Broncos and veteran quarterbacks. The last one that they had here, outside of Joe Flacco, I'm not talking about Joe Flacco, but the last one that we had here that was towards the end of his career, and Peyton Manning, you saw what happened with that. So I think Andy Dalton could kind of revitalize his career if he was to join the Denver Broncos organization. Speaking of the Broncos, the young quarterback they have now, and Drew Lock, I'm liking him, but the offensive line is not really doing anything for him. I know they eked out a win this past Sunday, but I think it would be better for him from a career standpoint to possibly move over to the Philadelphia Eagles, and because they'll be probably rebuilding that team, so he'll have an opportunity to step in with a young roster. Mitch Trubisky out of Chicago, you know that Bill Belichick has a good, I guess, a good track record. I mean, this season excused of developing quarterbacks and developing players, and I think that will be a great spot for Mitch Trubisky, is having him move on to the New England Patriots. And I know it'll be a work in progress, but you get an experienced quarterback that's experienced playing in the brutal weather that comes through out in New England, out in Boston, being from Chicago, playing in Chicago. So, I mean, it wouldn't be a shock to him. Cam Newton, on the other hand, I think once that weather starts kicking in up there, then it's going to be a total different ball game for him. So I propose Mitch Trubisky to the New England Patriots. Last on the list, and I know they're doing pretty decent this year. I thought they were scraping the bottom of the barrel, but the Browns look like they may have something going there. I don't know how serious to take it, but I did a video on Baker Mayfield and where he should be playing, and that's the New York Jets. And I'll go into a lot of explanations in the video that I have for that. But that's why I have Baker Mayfield going is the New York Jets, and it'll give him a chance to, make another first impression on someone else other than the Browns and the laughingstock that they have been the past few seasons. But anyway, that's just my suggestions. I know that I've been rambling on, but there are going to be some quarterbacks moving around in the 2021 NFL season. That carousel is getting ready to start up, so everyone hop on board, and we'll sit back and ride this thing out and see what we wind up with on our teams. And you all take care. Thanks for visiting.